Hi, everybody. I have with me a good friend of mine, Fusun Rynar, who is an energy healer and spiritual coach. So, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Andrew. Thanks for inviting me. Hello, everybody. Hi,
So,
hello from the Netherlands.
from the Netherlands, but you're Turkish, right?
Yes, originally Turkish from
Okay, so
Istanbul.
so so you're a Turkish woman who moved to the Netherlands at one point. You were in the corporate world for 25 years.
Exactly.
Now you're an energy healer and spiritual coach, right?
Yes.
So tell me real quick, what is an energy healer? What is a spiritual coach?
Okay, so what is an energy healer? Actually, I believe, and like many other people believe, that our emotions drive our life. What we think is creating an emotion, and our emotions are ruling our life. Once we are having challenges in life, or traumas in life, or any kind of issues in life, then we start building up certain emotions, and we start feeling things in our hearts. So what I do is when people come to me, I work in their heart chakra, we call it, and in their stomach area, which is called the solar chakra, where all the emotions are trapped. And once these blockages are removed from the body, from the physical body, from the energetic body, people start transforming. People start looking at life with different eyes, and they know how to set their goals better. They know how to thrive better.
And I know from like my experience how important that is, right? So I went to a Deadwood, North South Dakota once, and it may not mean something to you, but it's one of the most haunted cities in the world, right? In the United States, where the gold rush era was, right? There's a lot of dead people. That some of those buildings were built on Indian burial ground, and so I came home from that, and for a week my son hated me, right?
Okay.
And my wife thought I was like the most hostile person ever. And then I went to a healer, right? Actually, was a applied kinesiologist, and he said, "You know what? You have clingers, right? So you have like because I went through your heart chakra, right?
Uh-huh.
And there was like too many sources of energies coming from that, and then
Yeah.
he just smooched me, right? So like,
Okay.
and I came home, and my son loved me again, and my wife said, "Thank you very much."
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
so tell me about that. So what exactly like when somebody like me comes to, because if I hadn't found a healer, I might as well be divorced today, right? Because
Yes, yes, that's something that I fully agree. Because when people come to me, they don't really have to have physical problems. This energy healing that I do works on the body, on the mind, and on the physical body as well. So people come to me with emotional burdens. People come to me with burnout or depression. People come to me with certain physical illnesses, but as well as when their energy is drained, so they don't really feel well, they don't know the reason for it, they don't have any life force left, and then I start working on the body without touching my hands. That is a touch-free session. Therefore, being with me in person or sitting in Australia doesn't mean anything. I mean, it's the same process. What I do is the same in person or via distance. That's why I have a lot of international customers worldwide that I can just help them via distance. How the session runs is when they come to me, I say, you don't even have to tell me anything because I feel it.
I can attest to that. I'm a German-born American living in Ireland, talking to a Turkish woman in Netherlands. Every time I talk to you, I feel better. Right? But tell me, like, usually, you didn't change from like, I think you were sales, like corporate sales for 25
Yes,
years,
25
right?
years. Yes,
You
exactly.
didn't just change just because it was fun. There's usually a story behind.
Yes, absolutely.
What's the story?
I have a very touchy story behind it actually, because back in 2007, I was having all kinds of challenges, personal life challenges, financial challenges. And on top of that, I started receiving bad news from my father. So the guy who has been a boxer and a rock and roll dancer, using his legs all his life long, whereby we never saw him using any pills, even for headache. He has never been sick. He was the strong, big guy who was just rocking the world. And then he started having all these health challenges. And the health challenges followed one after each other. And each time I received news from Turkey, I was feeling really heartbroken. You know, as a daughter, living abroad, I couldn't help him and I couldn't cure his pain or make his pain less. So I didn't know what to do. And during those times, through my own challenges, I started searching ways. And one day I typed the word miracle on Google. And there was a website called Miracle. So it was amazing. I immediately checked what the content of the website was. And at the time, people were just caring about each other. They were praying and supporting each other. And there was no social media. That was the nicest part of it. No Facebook, no Instagram. People didn't even see each other. That really touched my heart. So I started joining them. I started praying with them. And after those periods, I started having some spiritual awakening. So my body was changing, my mentality, my mind was changing.
Tell me about that. That's huge. That's super interesting, right? So
yeah, exactly. So I remember a specific time that one evening I came home. I was extremely upset and crying like crazy. Only thing I wanted to do was going and praying. So I'm a faithful person. I respect all the religions and people who don't believe in it as well. But then I went to my bed, just, like in a mother's womb and crying and being sad. Then all of a sudden I started having energy waves going through my body. I didn't know what the heck was going on at that moment because it was like cold shivers, warm shivers, something was like moving on my body and tingling in my hands. And I was like, what the hell is going on here? Then I fell asleep. I woke up the next day as a new person. And then I decided to dive in deeper and deeper, and I became a very spiritual person on the way. And one evening, I received a call from my mom, and she said, oh, yeah, your dad is having terrible pain. And I said, okay, just hang up the phone. And I didn't know what I was doing. So I just closed my eyes, visualized that my father was laying in front of me on a bed. And I just grabbed my favorite crystals at the time, and I said, God, there has to be something, help me. And then I was just moving my hands and just, intuitively doing things. And then my mom called. I said, what's up? She said, your father's pain is gone. I said, how is that possible? And then she said, he has a message for you. I said, tell me. She said, he's saying you have to continue doing what you are doing. I said, but what did I do? I didn't even know what I did.
Right.
So I dived deeper and deeper and deeper. And there was a time that he couldn't walk anymore. So he was paralyzed. My mom was putting on diapers. And I was just having that vision in my head, thinking my strong father who has been kicking everybody. And how is that possible? He cannot even walk. So today I can still feel the same pain, when I talk about it. I really have all kinds of shivers on my body. I feel it. So I said, Dad, I'm coming there and I'm going to make you walk. And everybody started having fun with me. They said, yeah, what do you think you are? Did you become Jesus on the way? And, I just ignored everybody. And I said, trust me, I'm going to come and make you walk.
And you did?
Yes, I flew over.
So how did you overcome the negativity from other people, right? So who are you?
I believed in me. I believed in me.
Yeah.
I think that's the key word in general. Whatever people want to do, they have to believe in themselves first. Yeah. And then afterwards check for resources.
Yeah. And, and I see that with a lot of executive women that I work with, right? So they were thought they want to become healers or coaches or, or sell to terror oils or whatever it is, right? And then everybody comes, says, are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? And they typically don't do that because because they hate you, they love you, but they're afraid of you, right? So how did you, right, from a 25-year solid, successful corporate career, yes, overcome that negative, this discouragement, basically, right? Yes. And then recreate yourself. as
I really recreated myself. I created a new version of myself. I know where you are coming from. I first hesitated with myself, thinking when I was a kid, my dream was not to find the right man on the white horse and marry him and have a happy life. My dream has always been being a businesswoman and travel the world for my business and be in a corporate successful lifestyle.
Right.
I had that. I got that. I made that come true. So I was traveling all around the place and working in very big major companies and having a good life, good income. And then people started saying, but yeah, with energy world, nothing is sure. And isn't it a bit like vague? And, you know, and I said, no, because you have pain versus pleasure, right? So you need to feel the pain in your core to make the real shift, to make the real change. And I was feeling that pain. After I have seen my father walking in front of my eyes, I said, from now on, I will help people heal in any way I can, and I will support them and let them transform. Because
so what happened then? Did you quit your job, or did you stay in the job for a while and then get certified?
For a while, yes. For a while,
I know that you went to Tony Robbins, you know. So
yes, my favorite man. Some people love him, some people hate him. I'm the one who loves him.
Me too. Yeah.
I decided to join in one of his events because some of my friends have attended, and they told me that that was the best investment they did in their life for themselves. And I was already thinking, shall I quit my job? Shall I just follow my heart? I discovered my soul mission. My soul mission was to heal people. So
did you do that while you were in the corporate job, or?
Yes, I keep on doing corporate job in the evenings, healing sessions, at the weekend, group workshops. So basically I was working 7/24, which was also not healthy. Yeah. And I really wanted to help so many people. So the corporate world started to be far, far, far away from me in my mind's movie.
What is it that drove you away from it? But yeah, I know what pulled you towards being a healer. You had that calling, and you had that cause with like your father's life is like beyond measure to you, right?
Yes.
So I get that. What was it about the corporate world that
well, you know the corporate world yourself. You have been an
I do.
Many people, they start loving the corporate world, and after a while life gets so boring. You know, it's just meetings and listening to managers and general managers applying rules, and I'm not really a very much rule person, and I don't really like to get orders from other people. So this gave me the freedom of being who I am and be my authentic self without getting orders.
And that's what you are right now, right? So you have your own business, right?
Yes.
Who do you help?
Sorry?
Who do you help?
Who do I help? So most of my customers are women, and I think the reason why is women are very sensitive.
Totally, yeah.
Yes, and the mindset of a man is completely different than a woman. So when things happen on an emotional level, we are affected quicker than a man would be affected.
Well, I need to speak up for the men here, right? So I think I think it's about feminine energy, right?
Yes,
so there are a lot of males that have a lot of, and that's not because they're manly men, so it's not that they're like women, but they have a lot of female energy, right?
Come
and
out.
Likewise, there are women that have a lot of male energy, yes. So it's not easy to coach these people either.
True.
So
True, because we have a different mindset. Once Tony gave this example to us. He said that you go to a party with your partner, so a man and a woman in this case, in his story. So he said, when a woman walks in, she's immediately like filtering every single woman and man there, what they are wearing, how their hair is, what kind of shoes they are wearing, who is talking to who, and whatsoever. So when that man enters to the same event, he says, oh, here is Andrew. So he goes to Andrew and starts talking to Andrew. When this couple comes back home, because this was on the relationship day, discussing about masculine and feminine energy, when this couple comes home, when the lady asks the husband or the partner, how was the party? He says, good. So just one single word. And then when the guy asks the woman, how was the party? She says, oh, did you see Sarah? Sarah came to the party with Kim, and Kim was wearing red shoes, carrying this black bag, and we are like into every detail. That
Yeah.
is what most of the time men misses. And then there's a conflict between men and women.
Okay,
Right?
so you connect there, right? And so you work. How do you help them? What exactly do you do? What's the outcome?
Okay, so what I do, the person walks in. By the way, it doesn't matter what kind of gender they have, mostly women, as I said. So I say, okay, just lay down. They close their eyes, they lay on their back on the healing table, we call it, just the bed, which is used for healing. And then I say, close your eyes, just relax, because that's what we need, right? We need to relax, and we need to give time to ourselves, which we most of the time avoid.
Right.
So I say, I'm going to work with you half an hour without touching, clothes on, no issues with that. And I always recommend them because they need to get the best out of the session. And sometimes people are very curious, what's going to happen now? What will she do? And will I feel anything? You know, they have all kinds of questions. So I say, just imagine you are on vacation in your favorite spot, watching the ocean or whatever with a cocktail in your hand, and forget about me here. So that's my beginning always, and it helps.
Yeah.
Half an
And
hour.
then how long does it take you? How long does it take them to get healed, right? And how? Yeah. So tell me about that.
It all depends on what they have and what they come for. So I always recommend them 3 sessions, because the first session is like a startup session. You are starting up a process, and second session is going deeper in the process, and the third session is like a wrapping up. And if they feel like, I really love this is really helping me so much, and they can come to me and say, okay, I would like to book a 4th session. But if there are really serious issues, like I have ladies who have been, how to say it in a nicer way, while they were a kid, they were raped, you know, and misused and bullied. They really had traumatized youth or childhood, or they have been out of a very severe divorce case where they have been mistreated again, violence, then they might need a few more sessions. But I always start up with 3 sessions, and then half an hour long I work with them. And then when the session is over, we have a talk. That's how my spiritual coaching starts. I say, okay, tell me, what did you feel? And 9 out of 10, by the way, again, this is exactly the same procedure for distance healing. They only don't have me with them.
And I would like to talk to that in a moment, right? Because I can relate to that, because as a boy, you know, I got raped by boys, you know, and I was ashamed for like decades to talk about it, and bottled it up, and couldn't talk at home about it, couldn't talk to my friends about it, and that had negative effects on my relationships, on my work, you know, on my feeling of self-worth, and so on. And then finally getting this out, right? That's the first step, I think, right? And then you get to terms with it, and not even to terms. You realize that that's something that made you, and if you need to, if you blame these people for the pain that they have given you, they also need to thank them for what you have to, just helping you for what you've become, right?
Yes,
So it's so important. My question to you though is, I always think as a Turkish like an energy healer, in terms of a Turkish gypsy who lives in a caravan in the woods, and with tarot cards and fortune telling, and this crystal ball, right? So and you have those healing waves, like, you know, like of eye to eye, person to person. How does that work over a Zoom call?
Over a Zoom call. Okay. So you mean the distance healing session,
Yes,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
Funny enough, maybe it will sound crazy to you, I don't even see the person face to face when I do a distance healing session.
Okay.
So how it works is we agree on a date and a time. So I say, Andrew, Saturday evening at 9 p.m. Is that okay for you? You say perfect. So 10 minutes before 9 o'clock on Saturday evening, I call you up. without face-to-face. If the person really wants that, it's okay. But just to say what you need to do. So I say, Andrew, now I want you to go and lay on your bed or on your couch and just feel totally relaxed, close your eyes, and that's it. All you need to do for the coming half an hour. And now I'm hanging up the phone. So I hang up the phone, you go to your bed, you lay down. I start the process from here, from where I am. And I'm traveling a lot also. I can be anywhere in the world. And then half an hour later, I send you a text, either WhatsApp or FaceTime or whatever is convenient. I say, Andrew, the session ended. Please let me know when you get up. And then Andrew gets up because sometimes people relax so much deep in themselves, they might fall asleep. And I'm not going to call them to shock them, you know, to wake them up from that process, what they are going through at that moment. So sometimes people sleep over 5-10 minutes extra. Sometimes they are immediately awake. Some people feel that the energy is stopping. So then they open their eyes, they look at the time, and it's exactly half an hour. And then they call me up. I say, okay, how was it? What did you feel? Then you tell me what you felt, because you will be feeling energetically something going on your body. And some people, even on an advanced level, see some visions from their past.
It's like I always say, it's like everything in life is energy, right? Is wave.
Of course,
life
absolutely.
is nothing that you touch is actually.
If you do like this and separate your hands, you feel it already.
Exactly, right? And so how often you think of somebody and then the phone rings, right? Or just the typical when you're in a traffic jam and you suddenly turn around and sure enough somebody looked at you for like, or you look at somebody, right? And suddenly what happens all the time, right? And there's nothing physical there. It's just all that energy.
Right? Einstein mentioned energy. It's real. It exists. How often do you go into a place and you say, oh yeah, I didn't like the energy here. Yeah. Or you are talking to somebody and you say, oh really, we clicked. I really this person again.
And children have that. My son, when he was young, right, like he would like walk towards people and then he would feel the energy. And when the energy was bad, he would make like a huge, you know, like curve around them and avoid them.
And
right?
Thank God in today's world, we are opening up more and more to these kind of things, because 50 years ago, they would be hanging me thinking I'm a witch. Yeah. But nowadays, they come to my events to learn how to do this, because I give courses, healing courses, teaching them how people can do this. That's why I travel the world.
Okay, so how do I get in touch with you? So I know how to get in touch with you. How do if they wanted your help, you know, how do they contact you? What are the first steps?
Okay, so I have a website called Life Healing Academy, lifehealingacademy.com.
Mm-hmm. And we will put the link in the other comment box there, wherever you are here. See the video. I will do it. Don't worry about it. Let's say, how do people get people in touch with you?
This is my website address, and the same name, I have it as an Instagram account. Life Healing Academy as an Instagram account. Okay. With my name and surname, they can find me on Facebook. And I also have a Facebook page under the name Life Healing Academy. So that's the way they can reach me. They can book an appointment if they like to. If they want to have chats, they can also book a 15 minutes free chat session with me. And then we discuss how and what and see how we can work together.
So everybody, so I hope you heard that. It's Fusun Rynar, and it's Life Academy.
Life Healing Academy.
Lifehealingacademy.com. Get in touch with her now. 15 minutes. Trust me, it's worth your time.
Thank you very much. And they should get in touch with you because you're a great coach.
Oh, thank you so much.
Definitely benefit from your services as well.
So thank you very much. And I talk to you soon. Thanks for your time.
Thanks a lot, everybody. Thanks for joining. Thank you, Andrew, for inviting. Bye-bye.
Bye.